Hey, how's it going? This is Kevin Marcus Miller, the Marketing Clarity Doc. Hope you're having a good day today. All virtual lesson 42. So today we got some stuff to talk about. Ooh, got some stuff in my hand. There we go. We got some stuff to talk about. So today we're going to talk about criticism. For those of you who are in my book club, you know we're reading this book together right here. So you already know what I'm about to say. This book's called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Check that out if you haven't already gotten that. I'm reading through it right now. I'm on section 4. So here's, in a nutshell, what I've been processing for the past week. When it comes to building friendships, relationships, whatever it is, there's one thing that I seem to notice in my interactions that's been a common theme in the past 20 years. And that theme is, it seems that certain relationships that I have tend to have this element more, or they have this element less. And the ones that have more of this element, they don't last. Those relationships, they never last, right? And that one thing that I've noticed, constructive or not, valid or not, warrant or not, is always criticism. Criticism destroys relationships, even if it's constructive. So let's talk about this a little bit deeper. On page 5 here, okay, let me read this to you. "99 times out of 100, people don't criticize themselves for anything, no matter how wrong it may be." Let me say that again. 99 times out of 100, people don't criticize themselves for anything, no matter how wrong it may be. Woo, this is heavy, yo. So when I really sat with that, I realized it was true, because when we say things like we've been growing or we've been learning or we've been getting better, those are anecdotal. Those are, we're looking in the rearview mirror. We're never actually criticizing ourselves, right? So the fact that we are so quick to criticize other people, even if it's warranted, not only is that human nature, but that is the very reason why you, me, whoever it is in your life, right, struggle with building the type of deep relationships that we want. One of my buddies on Facebook, Lionel, said it best. We have to find a way to live deeper, right? And so when I sat with that, I really realized that I am extremely judgmental and I criticize a lot. And that is probably the only reason why I am not where I think and believe in my heart I should be in my life. And so when I had to sit with that and couldn't blame anyone else, couldn't criticize anything else, not my health, not my circumstances, nothing, just the true fact that my criticism of other people, whether it was warranted or not, is the reason why I'm not where I want to be. Now, I made a promise to myself that I would try to find another approach whenever I needed to give someone feedback, especially as a leader. So let's keep reading a little bit here. Criticism is futile because it puts a person on the defensive and usually makes him strive to justify himself. Criticism is dangerous because it wounds a person's precious pride, hurts his sense of importance, and arouses resentment. So that coworker who always gets that certain thing wrong and you talk about them, or maybe you're a great leader and you guide them and give them constructive criticism very frequently, they actually resent you. Even if you're a great leader, even if the criticism you're giving them is constructive, they still resent you. So what's the way around that if you have to give constructive criticism? And so there's some strategies in this book. One of my favorite is finding out exactly what that person wants and showing them by helping and doing what you want, they're actually going to get what they want faster. And that's a very different mindset, y'all. Very different mindset. It's very deep because when you look at celebrities, right? Those of us who are not celebrities, we criticize celebrities a lot, publicly and privately in our home, right? But do you ever stop and wonder why they became the celebrity and you didn't, or I didn't? Most of the time, it's because they kept their criticism of others to themselves. Not because they were more talented than you or me. It's because of that one thing. Let's keep reading a little bit. So on that note of what people want, right? Here's a couple things that most people want, right? Health and the preservation of life, food, sleep. Those are just some basics, right? Money and the things money will buy. Life after you die. Gratification, like pleasure, right? The well-being of our children. And honestly, in my opinion, the most important of all of the things on this list, a feeling of importance. You ever wonder why the expression is, you hurt my feelings? What they're really saying is, you made me not feel important. So when you criticize someone, even if it's constructive, like if you tell your friend that his music is terrible, it could actually be terrible. But what this book suggests is it's not in your best interest if your goal is to win friends and influence people, to tell them that their music is trash. If you are okay with not being their friend, right, then go ahead and tell them their music is trash. The other way you want to say this, if you're trying to give them feedback and you still want to give them feedback, right, say it like this instead. You know, I noticed that Drake uses a lot of plugins like this to get that sound. I bet if you found those plugins, that you might be able to sell more records to the type of people that listen to Drake. Huge difference. What I did there is I did not critique the music. I simply pointed out that there is a mixing plugin that might get you what you want faster, which is for people to buy the music. Because it's actually not important for me to criticize that person's music. It's subjective anyway. Now, if someone's paying you to critique the music, that's a different story. But that's not what we're talking about here. And so that desire of feeling of importance, right? This is the same desire, reading from the book here, and this is the same desire made by the richest families in your town. Build a house far too large for its requirements. This desire makes you want to wear the latest styles, drive the latest cars, and talk about your brilliant children. It's also the same desire that lures many boys and girls into joining gangs, the feeling of importance. So if you got anything from this today, one, it's never too late to stop criticizing people, even if it's constructive. Two, figure out a way to make the people that matter the most to you to feel important at all times. And when you don't, just apologize. It's not worth the ego. And then for those of you who are also leaders and have teams like me, what you want to do is sit down with your team like I did today and read this book with them. It will change your dynamic of your team. I guarantee it. We already started reading this book and we saw changes in our org within like 48 hours. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have some feedback. I know that, not everybody has the same outlook on life, and that's more than okay. I'm definitely putting this on social media, so that means I'm okay with criticism and understanding that it comes with that. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. Alrighty, hope you have a good day.